Oh, here we go. Huh. Think we're going here. I don't know. It didn't give me my normal countdown. Let me go over on X and see if it's working. Oh, yeah, it looks like it is. Let's see if they can hear me okay. Testing one, two.
We're going here. I don't know. It didn't give me my normal
count. Oh, interesting. Yeah, my computer's a little messed up this morning. In fact, my green screen here, let me see. Yeah, it's a little laggy too. Yeah, a little bit. I'm going to lose my picture in picture down there. Hopefully it will all will be good as far as the slides and the audio and whatnot, because I can't listen to it while I talk. But so far, so good. I think it sounded like I could hear myself fine when I did listen for a second over on X. Well, happy Thursday, everybody. Obviously, you see we're down a little bit. Look at Bitcoin, then we'll go look at the TradFi markets. Bitcoin down 1.8% today. We're sitting at 64,285. Good. Before the show, we were down to the high 63s, so we're popped back a little. If you look at the hourly chart here, you see we're up about 2%. We were literally down about 2%. Now we're down 1.8%. But let's jump over and look at the traditional markets, and then we'll kind of go from there. They were looking to open down about, it was mixed, right, between the different indices. But Bitcoin or NASDAQ was looking to open down about 1%. We'll see. It's been open for about 4 minutes now. We'll see where we're at. We will see where we're at. NASDAQ down 0.75, so about 3/4 of a point. Dow pretty flat, positive 0.09. That's what I call flat. S&P up or down 1/3, 0.34 of a point. So pretty much what we expected. To be honest with you, that's where the futures were. That's where the futures were pointing. So I'm going to check back in on the audio, just make sure everyone can hear me. So pretty much what we expected. To be honest with you, that's where the yeah, it looks good. We'll wait till some more people jump on the chat. They can tell me if everyone can hear me okay. But anyway, yeah, today's kind of like I say, opened up a little lower than yesterday. We had the euphoria because we had 2 days of indications that inflation might be in the rearview mirror, right? We'll see if those numbers hold and all that. I'm always a little skeptical, but was looking good. Today, we had some economic number. Looks good, but sometimes good news, bad news. We'll break that down. And, of course, a lot of talk. The last few days we were talking about pretty much Robinhood versus Solana. Today it's shifted a little bit. People are all of a sudden mega bullish on Ethereum because of what Robinhood's doing. And so there's a little bit of, I mean, everyone's all of a sudden all euphoria. Let's go buy Ethereum. And anyway, it's interesting. It brings back the debate and something I debated on a couple shows earlier, just chatted, spirited chats. Everyone has their own ideas. Basically, let me break down on a kind of a wide scale what the issue is. So you have, of course, Solana versus Ethereum is just a faster, cheaper layer one versus, layer one versus layer one. Of course, Ethereum is more decentralized and more secure. So there's those are the two big layer ones right now, right? So there's layer one. Most people, if you're a purist or if you've been around for a while, you'll feel that layer ones is the way to go, and everything should be on chain, not on side chains or layer twos or things like that, off chain, whatever. And then of course you have the financial industries developing their own centralized blockchains. But the issue that and it'll probably work itself out. The issue to kind of give you on a 10,000 foot level, the issue is this: Robinhood's killing it, very low fees, lightning fast, right? But very little of that money makes it back to Ethereum itself, right? So there's a little bit of a disparity between the gas fees. Some of those fees should make it, they're basically gas fees, but the layer two isn't giving much back to the layer one, though it is relying on its security and reputation and stuff like that. So you do bridge those tokens over. And I do think it's a good thing for Ethereum to have all this adoption, but it doesn't benefit financially the layer one much. So I don't understand what all the hype is to buy it, though it's probably grossly undervalued overall, no matter how you look at it. And then, the problem, the hit on the layer twos, they're pretty much centralized, mostly through their sequencers. Most of them only have one sequencers, which is controlled by the team. The sequencer who decides what transactions, what batches are going to get, kind of like a bouncer deciding who gets in and out of the show. So that's the thing. Obviously, layer twos are good to work with. And man, I remember back in the day, Polygon, I made like over 400% in 1 year on Polygon. I thought I was a genius. I loved it. And man, the deals they cut were crazy. Now we don't hear about them at all. I don't know why. They were doing massive partnerships. Now it's, of course, Robinhood's built on Ethereum, on Arbitrum, and then the bigger one's probably Optimism. So anyway, and meanwhile, Vitalik's probably 3-4 years away for making the layer one itself to be able to compete. So anyway, that's the strategy. That's what's happening. Nobody really knows. Everyone just has opinion. We all have opinions about what it is, and it kind of depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Me, I'm looking to it for value to investors. I'm not necessarily building a project, though I would probably build a project on Solana, but it also depends. Even the real world assets and the tokenization are going kind of to those three routes. Really four. Well, layer one, which could be either Solana, Ethereum, Hyperliquid, Binance Chain, Tron, whatever you like there. There's the layer one. There's the layer two, which is where a lot of this is going. And then there's the option of just companies building their own blockchains, totally centralized blockchains. So layer two's kind of straddling, fixing the problem, but doesn't have as many of the benefits. So anyway, you can break it down a million ways. The debate on rages. The good thing is we can all put our money in where we think is going to win. And in a few years, we'll all know looking backwards. But that's kind of the debate, just to kind of frame it for everybody. But anyway, welcome everyone listening live. Let's look at crypto. Oh, by the way, oil, $80.32. We're not hearing a lot about the war, but we don't really need to. We just need to look at the oil price. Remember when supposedly there was some potential of peace, we were down there 68, 69. Now we're $80.32. So that tells you what you need to know. We're looking good on inflation. Crypto's doing a little better. And probably the biggest news is Trump's meeting today with the senators. We'll talk about that. But anyway, not a huge news day, but we'll break it down. Bitcoin, once again, I will let it refresh here, but it's looking like it's 65,064. No, let's see. No, sorry. Yeah, I refreshed 65,317. So looking pretty decent. Up 0.5% since right before we started the show, since the market opened. So down 1.6%. Once again, here's a shot of the hourly chart. Now, what I'm kind of hoping is we kind of range here and we kind of can hold some of these gains through Monday, and we'll see. But the Clarity Act today and tomorrow could be a huge game changer, good or bad. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum, $1,884, down 2.3% for the day. Still up 7.8% for the week. See how it's doing on the hour. You're looking real good. Off the lows for sure, right as the market opened, or right before. XRP, $1.10.93. Let's call it $1.11. Down 1.3%. Same thing, though. We're all seeming to get this bounce when we look. Well, that's the hourly chart we're looking at. Daily chart down a few points. Hourly chart gaining some momentum. So we'll see if we can hold it. And, of course, Solana, we're looking at $75.56, down 2.1% for the day, up 1% in the hour. So there is the daily. See the little bounce. There's zeroing in on that. There's the hourly chart. Let's hit the news, man. Like I say, not a ton of news. Just But there is one big thing. Fear and greed still at 20, hasn't changed. Longest I've ever seen us in extreme fear, like 8 months now. Crazy, but it's all right. We also have the market cycles. Tether just invested $20 million into Argentine neobank, ULA, part of major push to expand its presence across Latin America. See, they're not the Tether, which is by far the biggest stablecoin and very profitable company. The way it sits and the way they back it and things like that may not be compliant with the new U.S. regulations, and for sure isn't compliant with MiCA over in Europe. So they're trying to gain ground otherwise. And I think they have a new compliant token, but USDC seems to be the popular one right now. If you want to play that, you can buy Circle. Now, this is interesting. Clarity could bring Europe's crypto industry to the U.S. MiCA promised harmony, but instead delivered high costs, slow licensing, and regulatory uncertainty, pushing founders towards crypto-friendly jurisdictions like Dubai. The Clarity Act could offer what many builders have been waiting for: clear rules, defined regular insight. One framework pushes founders out, the other brings them in. Pass the Clarity Act now. So, I mean, yeah, this is why we need it, right? There needs to be clarity for these companies to invest long-term here. But, yeah, look, Europe's all about controlling you, controlling your money, protecting the banks. So everything they do is not going to be a good thing. I can just tell you. They're going to get left behind this game. Hopefully America doesn't. China is deploying more humanoid robots at a faster pace than the U.S., sending thousands into factories, logistics hubs. Yeah, it seems like that from the news we're seeing. That they're definitely winning the game there. Short term. Ansem getting annihilated. Top holders selling millions of dollars, causing a huge crash. Let's take a look at it. I've kind of used Ansem as kind of the gauge between, these meme coins over on Robinhood and this. And, you can also just buy Robinhood, the stock, HOOD. But yeah, you can see that big candle on the hourly. It's up a little bit. I said it was probably an opportunity this morning. Of course, I'm back in our guy, Jason A. Williams, the TBB bull, currently sitting at 9.5 million. Been ranging between 9 and just under 11 million. But anyway, yeah, that's what I'm doing. There we go. Like I said, not a huge news day, but anyway, it's Thursday. Shouldn't really be Thursday, Friday, but the Clarity Act could be big. Tokenized equity value on Solana just hit 535 million, a new all-time high. Like I say, both chains are going to do fine. I just think that Solana is the fast horse. That's just my personal opinion. Don't trust me. Don't trust anyone. Do your own research. Make your own thesis. We're just telling you what we see it from our perspective. The Bitcoin Treasury Capital receives approval for Sweden's first BTC-backed preferred offering, issued with a 10% annualized dividend backed by its Bitcoin reserve. So similar to Sailor's STRC, which has been trading at about $87, $88, I believe. Not quite to that $1 par. So they're not going to be buyers for a while. This is the news. This is really all that matters today. President Trump will meet with senators this afternoon to discuss the Clarity Act, okay? To me, this is it. Begins and ends with this. Trump needs buyers for Treasury and the Treasury bills, the T-bills, and they're always dwindling. Other people, China's buying gold. Other countries are trying to get away from the dollar. If Trump wants to maintain dollar dominance and dollar relevance, he needs these stable coins to be pegged. So I think it gets done because I think Trump is going to do everything, lie, cheat, and steal to get this passed. We're going to find out. I think we might have seen the bottom if it happens. Otherwise, we could dump down to the 50,000 that everyone thinks we're going to before we go up. And the fact is, I don't know. I don't know. If the Clarity Act passes, I think we go up. Zero Hedge commenting on the financial news today. We're in a slow hire, no fire economy. Confirmed as jobless claims drop near record high. Those jobless claims, by the way, 208,000 unemployment filings, jobless people, compared to 216,000 expected, 215,000 year over year. So there you go. it's good news. More people aren't getting fired. Not as much unemployment. The bad news, where good news becomes bad news, is this could remove one of the reasons for the Fed to lower rates instead of raise rates, because they have a dual mandate. Remember, unemployment and inflation. Inflation is going down, but so is unemployment. So both good news. One bad news for rate cuts, one good news, which is the bad news. The good news is the bad news. Anyway, it's crazy world we live in. USA to slap 25% tariff on Brazilian imports. No idea where that came from. I just saw that out of left field today. Thought it was kind of funny. We'll see. SpaceX slid below IPO price. Keep this in mind, guys. We said most of these big IPOs pull back 55% in the first year, then they take off. And Steph Crypto, I think, called $90 where he's going to start buying. May or may not get down there, but we told you not to chase green candles. Of course, you're big boys and girls, so you do what you want, and we'd encourage it. But the reality is, this is very typical of what happens. May not go down to the 55, sub 55, because of how important and how well respected Elon is. But I'm gonna buy this at some point. Take one more look at the markets. Like I say, slow news day. We're not gonna join me in the top of the hour for the GM Bitcoin morning show, but right now that's about it. We're just kind of holding here, see what happens with the Trump meeting. NASDAQ down 1.14, Dow up 0.12, S&P down 0.47. So that's getting worse. Let's take a last look at Bitcoin. See if it's maintaining its little pop or not. Either way, it's a Thursday. Get out and we're still 64,119. If you look at the hourly chart, see we went up. We peaked out at 64,442. Dropped down now. We're at 64,208. So it'd be great if we can hold that 64, especially through Monday. Other than the Clarity Act, I don't see any big catalyst for anything. Have some fun. Get out there like I'm doing. Trade some meme coins. Do some bull posting. Have some fun. But other than that, man, slow news day. Not a lot of people active today. I get it. But have a great day, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. We'll wrap up the week.